we have always been just in the beginning
Yeah.
where the dock is, because we have no idea what actually freefoiling is.
Are you the president?
Uh,
Are you
mhm.
the president of the club? Oh, sorry,
Yes,
I didn't
I'm the
even ask.
president at the moment. Yeah. So from their side was included tax, I think 25,000,
Okay.
and we added another 6,000 with the motor and the batteries and everything. So a little bit more than 30,000.
This episode is sponsored by SurfEars. SurfEars are not only important if you foil in cold water to prevent exostosis, SurfEars are also super important if you foil in dirty waters, especially now as it gets warmer. The water that's in your ear canal can actually cause infection. So you want to protect yourself, use SurfEars that keeps the water out, lets sound through, which is important. Stay healthy, get your SurfEars in the link in the description. Now let's begin the episode.
This is Up on Foil, a podcast for everyone flying just above the surface. Pump, carve, soar, let's foil!
This episode is also sponsored by Foilsessions, but more on that later.
Welcome to episode number 97 of Up on Foil, the podcast where we talk all about foiling. And today it is with Roman Schaller. He's out of Austria. He has his own Pumpfoil club, and he organized the Freefoil Summit at Weissensee this year. I'm eager to talk to you about that. And welcome, Roman. Thank you so much for taking your time. When was your last session on foil, man?
Oh, yesterday. Today is a little bit too early, but yesterday I was on the water, yeah.
Nice. Pumpfoiling, I suppose.
Sorry, man?
Pumpfoiling, I suppose, right?
Yes, of course. Yeah. Nearly
what-
every day. We have courses every day here in Austria at the moment.
Nice. Tell me about your
Yeah.
session yesterday. Did you go out from your boat?
Yes, we have our Pumpfoil boat, and yeah, we just started a small session going around the lake. At the moment, I'm always on my betta. I go for the exploring after the Freefoil Summit. That's what I do the most at the moment.
That is so cool. Let's dive just into that. First of all, I would like to talk about the club because I recorded a podcast with some people from a Pumpfoil club before. They have their property on a private property, which is kind of nice because he can do basically whatever he wants. But when I was at Wörthersee, I saw there are many private properties at the lake.
Mm.
Was that why you decided to build a club, or why did you choose to make a club, basically?
Yeah, the Wörthersee is our main spot. So I'm just 2 kilometers away from the lake, and it's a huge lake with a lot of possibilities. But as you said, everything is private around the lake, and there are just when you're on the lake, it's fine, but to get access to the lake is a little bit complicated. And we had some docks in the area where we used in the last 4 or 5 years. But in 2 years ago, I created the club or founded the club. And when you have a lot of people here, then maybe also in the summer season, it's get very crowded on all these public beaches. And so I organized our special Pumpfoil boat. It's like a big dock boat. It's 2.5 to 9 meters. And yeah, and from this boat, we can start almost from everywhere. So in the morning, we jump on the boat with the 10 people, and then we go to some areas and we pump there. This is what we found out is the best thing to do here at Wörthersee.
So you organized the boat, or you organizing the boat was the main thought process behind making a club.
Um, yeah, because of the you need an area or a property that owns to the club, and here on this lake, it's nearly impossible to get any property. So the only way to get out was with the boat
With the
to
boat,
keep
huh?
a community together. But otherwise, you always get in trouble when you're with a lot of people on the dock and blocking the dock for a longer time.
because of the swimmers, the suppers,
Yes.
everyone who wants to get access to the lake. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
How did you get organized though? Was it just you with a bunch of friends at the dock saying we need to change something? Or was it like from the outside? Maybe authorities came and said you cannot like use the dock the whole time.
Oh, no.
Who was like a thriving force?
I founded the club. I, I, I start from the beginning. Um, Walde, he's a local guy here, and he's one of the first in every sport. He was the first, I think, in skateboarding here in this area. He was the first on snowboarding, and he inspired me to do pumpfoiling. And I was pumpfoiling with him for like 6 years or something. And after 4 years, we said, we need, there is a big possibility here on the lake because the lake is flat, no wind, so it's very nice. So pumpfoiling will be an excellent spot here. And we decided together to create a club. In the beginning, it was just the club as a fun project to maybe ask some producers to get stuff and make some content, and not to grow big. It wasn't the idea in the beginning, just to do something a little bit because everything is new. And then I have seen one of these dock boats cruising at Wörthersee, but they're very rare at this point. And I say, this will be a perfect thing to do. And then I asked the local tourism agency, because the club was just 2 people at this point, or 3 people. But we see the potential that everyone wants to do it. And then I asked the local tourism agency, are you interested in supporting us? And so I made just a small PDF with the illustration how a pumpfoil boat can look like, and went for founding the money. And immediately after a month or 2, we had the whole money together to buy this boat for our club. It was very easy, and I didn't expect it in the beginning, but I just tried it out so it's fully funded by some companies, by 4 or 3 companies that we put the panner on it, and they paid for the panner, and with this money, yeah, we bought the boat.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the price? How much does a boat like that cost? And maybe you can tell us, how is it equipped? You said the measurements you told us. There are some banners there.
Yeah.
For the listeners who haven't seen it before, I've been on there. Can you tell us more about it?
Have you ever recorded a session with a foiling app and then forgot to turn it off on your way home? Well, now with Foilsessions, you can actually crop your session, meaning that you can take out the car ride and just focus on your foiling, which is amazing. Try Foilsessions for free with the link below.
Yes, of course. We also had some key points. They were important for the supporters. We only use sun energy, so we have solar panels on top, and we have no plug-in for electricity, so we are all the way on a buoy out there and just cruising with the sun energy. As we do with our muscle energy, we're going with a boat with just the sun energy.
Nice.
And yeah, it's made of alloy, everything. And there are 2, like a catamaran. And it's built from a Berlin company in Germany, in Berlin. And they shipped it to us here.
Oh, you got it new?
Because it was new.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
In the beginning, we thought about to build something on our own. It would be much cheaper. You can get these do-it-yourself kits also on the internet. You have these pontons, and you put them together and make the aluminium. But in the end, you don't have an official boat. You have to go to the authority and make registration, everything. So I decided, because of insurance, and if something happens and whatever, we don't have any experience in that, to buy it directly from this company. I can also say the name is something like Perebo in Berlin.
Okay.
And yeah, and they made it they can customize it for you as well. So if you want to make some changes, the roof longer, shorter, whatever. So we had this special dock in front where we overlapping a little bit with the dock that with the jump start that you don't hit the boat or something. They made it for us. And then you have an officially document because and this is a boat. And it was very important here on the Wörthersee to have an official thing when you making events, when you're bringing people on the water, that you don't, yeah,
No
get in
insurance
any
problems.
troubles.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You
And the
yeah.
price,
Yeah.
I didn't talk about the price. The price was about, with the motor and everything, with the solar panels, we added a little bit afterwards. So we get it delivered without the panels. We had the wood deck on it, but we put on the benches, the batteries, the motor and everything. So from their side was included tax, I think 25,000.
Okay.
And we added another 6,000 with the motor and the batteries and everything. So a little bit more than 30,000.
All right. That's pretty big sum still. But it was financed with sponsored money, right? Everything.
Yeah.
That
Everything.
is impressive. So you said Tourism Wörthersee was involved. Who else? I mean, you can name drop them now.
Yeah. It's a company called Wellcard. They're doing some vouchers for Spar and yeah, it's also a local company. Then we have a plumber company. He's also with his family in our club. So he was there. And there's a big internet provider here in this region. It's calling oya.at. And yeah, those four. I made
Nice.
some packages, like 10,000 for the main sponsor and 5,000 for two small sponsors. Yeah, and so I get two main sponsors and two small sponsors, and I made it for 5 years. So the banners are 5 or 4 years. So the banner will be on for 5 years. So in the end, they paid 10,000, but divided by 5. So it's only 2,000 a year for a big banner on the boat.
Yeah.
Then the boat is cruising on the lake. So sometimes we are in these cities, sometimes we are here. So the banner is moving and the banner will be directly on the lake. There are no other banners. So when you come with the boat, it's a very good advertisement for these companies. No one did that before. So it was not easy to get the money.
And there are probably a lot of
It was not
people,
complicated.
seeing you, like maybe they haven't seen dock starters before, Pumpfoilers, and they probably take pictures as well. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Plus you can just go in front of like the main tourist attraction and pump there, which is really cool.
So
That is impressive, man.
if
But
there isn't a big event or something, we can come with the event. We have all our equipment on the boat. And if someone is saying, hey, I want to book you for a small show or something, yeah, we jump on the boat and we're coming. We have everything on board. Or even music we have on board. And so, yeah.
very cool. When you talked about like the origins of the club, did I mishear you, or did you say Pumpfoiling 6 years ago?
Yes, I think Valde did it 2 years before me, so it was 7 or 8 years before
is
I was starting
crazy.
Pumpfoil.
I didn't even know
Yeah.
that Pumpfoiling existed back then.
Yeah,
What
me too.
what
No,
gear
at that
were you
point.
guys on? I mean, gear is getting better by the minute. But how was it back then? What gear did you use? How long did it take? Can you talk to us about like your Pumpfoiling journey? Because usually it's a hard one.
Yeah, as I said, I was always inspired by Valde, and he made I've seen a foil in his at his home. It's made of wood. So he was just sanding with hand and pull it on the boat behind. Foiling exists here on the Wörthersee, also with these air chairs, I think they called. They have been there since somewhere in the 80s or earlier. I don't know exactly. And he was always on the lake and yeah, and he also built his first skateboard made of wood by himself, and where you have nothing to buy. Also snowboard and everything. So he was always the first. With but I was jumping in 2 years later, maybe, or 1 year later, and yeah, I was starting on a Tacoon. I think it was a Tacoon, a big one, a big board, everything, and he was just able to pump for. It was not pump foiling. It was just, yeah, um, going 10 meters or 15 meters or maybe 30-meter circle, and that was amazing at those time. Yeah, and we pulled ourselves with, um, we take a standard paddle, we put a box on top, and we had a winch.
Yeah.
How's it
Yeah.
called?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Winch. Yeah.
a pulling winch, and we were sitting on the sub with the foil, and the other one was on land, and he was pulling us to get off, and then we throw away and then we tried to pump. That was we didn't did dock starting at the beginning in the first year, I think, and yeah, and then slowly the foils coming out, and we bought this from wing foiling or from other sports, and yeah, then it started. Yeah.
That is crazy. I mean, I wasn't aware of foiling. Well, I was aware of foiling back then, but I didn't think that I would do it. But you doing it like 6 years ago, that sounds like crazy. How about your dock start then? Because you knew how to pump already. That must have helped for dock starting. Do you remember how your dock start progress went?
Yeah, it was Walter managed before me, and um, yeah, it was a hard one. I think we had 1,000 starts in those times in the beginning, 500 to 1,000 starts. I cannot count, but it was a lot. But I've sold my company at this time, and I was on the water with Walde. So every morning it was beautiful to meet him at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, where the the lake is very flat, and it's not that hot, and we had so much beautiful sessions in this morning. So we tried a lot. Yeah.
I mean, it is crazy. I mean, even when I started, the material was a lot better than it was 5, 6 years ago, obviously. I think I started 2.5 years ago. It is now. Yeah, pretty sure. But now, like, I have these foil scooters, and there are kids here. I'm at Lake Silvaplana. They have sailing camp. Then one morning there was no wind, so I gave him the scooter, and 3 of them actually managed to do the minute by the afternoon. So gear has gotten so much better, and with the scooter, it helps so much to get going. How do you see the progression? And you said you were just 2 people at first. How has the club grown? Is it still growing now? How does it look?
Yeah, the club this year was amazing. So every year from the creating of the club 2 years ago, so the first year was, oh my God, and the next year was even bigger and bigger. And yeah, at the moment it's absolutely brutal. So every day calling me people, and they
Oh,
want to
really?
start pump foiling. Yeah. We have on Friday we have 3 sessions, a morning session, a mid session. So always 4 people, new people coming on every session. Yeah, with the scooter, we get ours from Indiana, maybe next week also for trying.
The Wake Thief
And
scooter.
the Wake Thief
Yeah.
edition, yeah. And we had a guy in the club who has already a scooter. I think it's I don't know, it's brand Rom, glaube ich. I think it's from Rom.
Yeah, Rumfo, yeah.
Yeah. And he had a course last year with normal pump foiling. But and honestly, we thought he's a little bit bigger, and he's not so
Agile,
quick in
probably.
standing
Yeah,
up, and
okay.
yeah. But he was so motivated, and we and Walde said maybe it will not be possible to teach everyone to do pump foiling. Yeah. But then all of a sudden, in this year, so a few months later, he called us and said, "Hey, I'm there with the scooter and I can go." he was training in a pool and on the lake on his side very hard for just 2 or 3 weeks, and he was with us on the water.
Nice.
So that I've seen how it's really has its potential to bring it get more into the mass sport, maybe with the scooter, and bring much more people the experience of foiling.
Not
Of
just
course,
the
yeah,
ones who are crazy and like go
yeah,
through heaps and heaps of fails. So yeah,
yeah.
I really think that's a big thing. Still changing from the
Also the
scooter.
kids.
Yeah, man. I mean, my kids now, even the smallest one, she's 6, and I pull her at the handle, like she just stand on the scooter on the dock, and I just pull her, and with the speed, I just go alongside the dock, and then I just push her at the end. Her pumps have no impact on the foil whatsoever, but she glides for a couple of meters and she loves it. I really think that scooter is great. And I mean, if he's listening, Benji, I want to thank you for inventing this thing, because so long he had to take shit from everyone, like, oh, the scooter is not cool. But the impact it
Yeah,
makes on foiling, on dock starting, is incredible. And I really love it.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I personally, the style is a different thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But to get into it, it's perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
I still
Yeah,
think, and I'm an okay pump foiler, I'd say, pump foiling also looks kind of weird. So whether that's weird on a scooter or
yeah.
weird on a pump foil doesn't really matter that much. And also, a
That's
lot of
true.
people say, well, you can start with the scooter and then change to like regular pump foiling, but you don't even have to do that. It can
Yeah,
be like a discipline by itself. It adds some freestyle possibilities. It certainly adds possibilities to start, um, but also takes away some. Like the knee start, we're going to talk about free foiling later, is probably going to be difficult. But if you have like a super high rock you want to start from and don't feel comfortable like jump starting, then the handle adds way more possibilities there as well. Have you tried the scooter though,
yeah.
Roman?
Yes, yeah. I tried it with the one from the club
Yeah,
member, and yeah, it's I also did it in the not on the first step,
yeah.
but on the second step, I was just pumping a little bit, and after a few starts, yeah, I was going around our boat, and of course, if you work on that, you can, I think, manage it in 1 day or 2 days, no problem. Yeah,
I
of
still
course.
think if you know how to pump foil and then you go on the scooter, it's not going to be that easy. You still need some adjustments, because I
Yeah,
held on that handlebar like crazy and was totally cramped up and couldn't move. So it's like,
but then it's just like just the loop moving with the
yeah,
bar. It's just you don't pull
yeah.
hard or something. You just have it there to hold your hands on
But you
it
still
or
got to
keep your hands
learn
on it,
that.
I think.
You still got to learn that. And I think
Mm,
it's like learning a new start in dock starting. Um, so yeah, it's another challenge, and it's really fun. Now you said that your club is growing, and usually if you're in a club, there's a lot of politics involved. It's, it can be difficult. So many different people coming to one spot. Has that ever been a problem for your club?
um, so we are right into that storm at the moment. We don't see how. I have no idea how we come out of that, because everywhere we go, so last year we have been on another spot because um, we need these buoy, so we are not connected to one main spot. So next year we can go to another place where we just have to go to the boat. And this year we get sponsored or supported by mm, one of the region from the Wörthersee, and they gave us the buoy,
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
but like a tourism
Yeah.
agency, and but they said it's just for 1 year.
Okay.
They don't make a contract for 5 years because they want to see how it
Of course.
actually is and if there are any problems. The next step will be there is a green space, like yeah, it's a green like a property that owns to the government in the back of the
Of the buoy.
where our boat,
Yeah.
yeah, and maybe we can have that and put a container there and get a real, like a small shop or like a club
Okay.
house. Yeah. But this we have to manage well this year. And I don't know how it actually is, because so many people love it. They come and make photos and they like it. But if you have just two people and they go to the government and tell them, oh no, there are some troubles, then
Yeah.
you have so if 100 people likes you, two don't not, it's getting in trouble. So, and there are also coming so many people from they are not from the club. They're coming from Vienna, they're coming from Linz, they're coming from Germany, making holiday here,
Yeah.
and they found out hey, there's a club here, and then they come, and they don't know the rules and everything and how to behave, and maybe so we have in front of our boat is a dock, and this dock is only for the swimmers.
Oh, really?
And I was pushing to in the beginning. The government says we will put a sign here, no pump
Yeah.
foiling. But we found it too hard because in the morning you can go, or maybe if there are no people here, so we decided no sign. But now I found out that it's very important to put a sign here, and we are waiting for it to get it, because so many external people coming and they don't know. They go in, well, it's high seasons of swimmers, and they try and they want to start pump foiling or train pump foiling in the middle of these people. And if no one from the club is there, then we cannot tell them. So it's hard for us to see what actually maybe some bad things happening. So we have to push to put a sign here with some rules. It's not saying no, you don't have to. It's just some
Yeah,
guidelines.
makes sense.
Don't go too close to swimmers. So yeah,
Respect the
that's what we
others, all
want.
that
Don't
stuff.
put a sign. Yes, and some zones with a picture. This is a no foil zone. Don't go, please don't go there. But in the end, the lake owns everyone, so everyone can do everything. Normally, it's only the dock is owned by the government, and they can say no, it's not allowed anymore to
Okay.
start from the dock. Yeah,
If
and
people
this is what
come,
we try to.
if people come still, are
Yeah.
they allowed to come to your boat and start from there? Or is that for club members only?
Yeah, we have to watch out. Now we are 60 people in the club,
Wow.
and we are the most of them are starting. They were starting pump foiling last year or even this year, so they are still working on being a pump foiler, and they are trained a lot on the boat. So on Saturday or Sunday, we can only take 10 people on the boat because of the regulations. And yeah, so when there are 10 people on the boat and other people are coming, then it's getting overcrowded and they have to wait here. So we must keep it nice for the club members, that they have paid for the boat or made a membership so that they can train. And it's also at the moment we have to find out how many people actually are coming on the weekend to want to try. So everyone wants to come on the weekend, and we have to that not there. We have to take care that there are not 30 people on the beach waiting to get on the boat. But it, yeah. So everyone can come. We have at the moment, we're always shifting a little bit on our website. We're doing this, we're doing that. We change. No, it was not a good idea. We do it again like this. So it's a little bit learning
Again,
by doing at
politics.
the moment. Yeah. And also we had problems with the material. So many beginners we had from Indiana, some boards, and for the training, and we put them on the boat and said the members can use it, but it was destroyed after 2 weeks. The people sometimes drop it here, drop it there, and no one says it wasn't my fault. They say no, it was like this when I touched it. And so we took away all the stuff from the boat. Everyone must have his own board and thing. And it's it's not that easy. But if you can come now, if you want to come, so we offer 15 euros at the 15 or 20 euros, and you can go for through 3 or 4 hours on our boat if it's empty, or if there is a place for you.
So if listeners
Then we also have
come to Wörthersee, like they have a vacation planned, or they're just passing through going somewhere else, can they contact you on Pumpfoil Club Austria on Instagram, or how should they like ask if there's a spot available?
Yeah. Now, of course, send us an email, write us on WhatsApp. It's better to communicate where to go and communicate a little bit the timing. So you're always welcome during Monday to Friday. There should be enough space on the boat. When you don't stay on the boat for the whole day, just go there, go pump foiling, and then go back on the beach. But also on Saturday or on Sunday, it can be very crowdy. And so most of the time, the club members said, okay, we go out with a boat on Saturday or on Sunday, and then the boat is not available. So we go away from the crowded places, and some people come with the stand-up paddle and meet us at like a raft up somewhere in the bay. And and we keep it for our club the weekends during the summer season. It's just 8 weekends now in July and August where it's very crowdy. In September, October, it's still so warm here, and it's a perfect time to come to the Wörthersee out of the high season. Yeah.
Now, if people want to start their own club, they saw your boat. We're probably going to have it in the intro as a little video. If people want to have their own club, do you have any learnings that you had that where you say, well, just be aware, don't do this, or make sure to do that? Do you have like a couple of things people need to be aware of when starting their own club?
Yeah, it was a lot of work. I didn't expect that it's that
So
hard
quit your
work.
job, sell your company.
Yeah, it's because it's growing so fast that your experience from last year will not count on that year. Because everything is changing completely. Now the scooter comes. You need the scooter equipment as well. Everyone wants to try the scooter. And so, yeah, it's always a big experience. But a good advice is build a club, because a club is very important for the community to bring the people together, that that you can make rules. You are much stronger in a club to go to the government and tell them, I have 20 or 30 people in the back who wants to do the sport. So we representatives, we make some rules here on the lake. So let's work together. Also, we get invited to some events where they talked about the future of the lake, and they also involved us. What is your experience? What you want to have? And this is only I think it's only possible in a club. But yeah, also it's not easy to bring a community together, because there's some people have different interests, and who is leading the whole group. It's also not easy, because maybe there are 4 people they want to lead this Pumpfoil community in your area, and you have to bring them together, that they work together.
Are you the president? Are you
Hmm?
the president of the club? Oh,
Yes,
sorry, I didn't
I'm the
mean that.
president at the moment. Yeah. And Walde is the second president. Yeah. And yeah, it is working good. Yeah, but it's really a lot of work to and in a club, it's always you don't have a lot of money. So every work you do is just you have to do it. Otherwise, if you do it without money, then it will exist. Otherwise, it's not possible.
So you really need to be
Because
enthusiastic about it. You need to know that it's a lot of voluntary work, unpaid work, but it is worth it. Can we
yes,
summarize it like that?
yeah. Yeah,
Now,
that's true. Yeah.
let's talk about that Freefoil event. That was when we met. It was an amazing event. Todd and you like worked a lot for that as well. Thank you so much beforehand.
Yeah,
Whose
it was a pleasure.
idea was
Yeah.
it? How do you come up with contacting him? Did he contact you? How did that start?
Everything started after the Freefoil Summit
Were you
2025.
there?
No, I'm not there. I just
Yeah.
watched it, and Todd sent out these newsletters, and I've seen these newsletters, and all the I also have a member in the club um, who owns a better foil, and he was talking to me, or he was contacting me. Hey, what do you think about this event? I said, yeah, I've seen it, and it's nice. It's a very cool idea. And he asked me, could you send Todd an email to bring the Freefoil Summit here to Austria? So it was Michael's idea, and maybe you met him as well at the Freefoil Summit, yeah. And also Patrick from the Wörthersee Tourism. He is also into the sport of pumpfoiling, and he was also seeing this newsletter and also contacting me. And together, Patrick said, "I will write Todd," and I said, "I will also write Todd." And the answer was Todd was also seeing the lake Wörthersee already in his research. And he said, yeah, he was looking for a nice alpine lake, and there also for him Wörthersee popped up, so he had an idea. Yeah, and I think 2 weeks later we've been in a meeting with Patrick, with Todd, and me, and we just meeting each other and said, okay, guys, what's your idea? What's his plans? And then we had some meetings. It was I think the first meeting was in October, and then we had some more, and yeah, and so it grows. So it was more a thing of all three people together. We had a WhatsApp group, and if someone had an idea for the event, so in the beginning it was more brainstorming. We put everything in, what we can do, 3 days, yes, where, and so we found out that in the beginning there was not sure which location it was, which lakes we take, did we do any challenges. Everything grows into the process, and I cannot say that this comes out from one person. So it was just a bunch of ideas together, and then we worked on that, and yeah, and I think it worked out very well. But it was a very long process to get to these 3
It
days.
surely did.
Yeah.
So a lot of video calls. At the end, it was 3 or maybe even 4 days. And the first, like, I want to just go through that event again, just also for me to relive it, because it was a really fun event. The first, I was there on Friday, and the Foilsessions was a super cool lake. It's not your home spot, but like almost 20 minutes from Wörthersee, from where we stayed at least. It was really a cool lake. How did you find that? Were you there sometimes already? Do you look on a map, or did you just, before even pumpfoiling, bike through and saw, and then, oh, that might be a good lake? How do you find that, man?
Yeah, it's on a hiking route or a bicycle route, so I know it since I am a child, so everyone knows that lake. But honestly, when I was pumpfoiling, I've never been at Foilsessions for all the 5-6 years. I've never had the idea to go there because we are in our box with the dockstart, and so this lake was just, yeah, it was there, but it's not possible to pumpfoiling there. We must do it here at the Wörthersee. And the idea from Todd was it was a Freefoil Summit, and so I was looking around to not get boring on one lake, so traveling around. And I think it was Patrick who said, let's check out Foilsessions. Yeah. I think and Foilsessions is also private
Oh,
owned.
really?
So it's an electricity company. So it will be also easier
To
to
ask for permission.
arrange
Yeah.
something there. Yeah, yeah. And then I went there. I think it was when I got the demo beta from Todd for I think it was 3 months before the event started. So I started with freefoiling, and I went up to Forstsee, and then I realized what freefoiling really is, and yeah, um, and discovered the lake, and I said, "Oh, this is perfect."
It
Yeah.
is really perfect. You got possibilities to beach start, great rocks, and some rocks are better than docks. Really, different
Yes.
heights and so much space. Not just one dock and everyone's waiting their turn, but you just go 5 meters further and try to start from there. There are trees that fell in the lake where you can start from. This was so cool.
Yeah,
So
it's a huge playground, as Todd said.
I
Yeah.
think,
So you have on one shore, you have on 10 meters, you have 5
yeah,
opportunities, I think.
I
Yeah.
think this
Yeah.
lake was like in terms of variability of stars was the best. Just it was everything was so close, and it's even possible to pump around it. Some of them can do it in one go, others can do it in 10 goes, doesn't matter. You could also swim or hike back because it's really accessible, which is really cool. Plus, when we got there, you had a tent up, you had some music going. That was really cool, man. So that was amazing. Then the second day, there was the challenge, the 5K, 10K challenge. And that needed some more preparation from your part, huh?
Yes, of course. Yeah. It was a lot of organization and paperwork, and um, honestly, I was very nervous in the beginning because we said we do it, and but later it gets getting to an official event, how to manage um, the insurance, everything. You don't want someone to get
Yeah.
hurt, and but on the other side, you don't want to shout out too
Yeah.
much, and awake
Yeah.
sleeping dogs, we say. Um, so it's also, yeah, and you don't expect, and in the beginning you don't know how many people will
How
really
many did
come.
show up at the
If
end?
it's just 10, I think it was something 30
Yeah,
or
I think
40 or
something, yeah, something
something.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. That was really cool. It was really a
Yeah.
happening. So yeah, you said safety wise,
Yes.
insurance wise, there was some things.
Yes. Yet also the managing the boats. I don't know how good other people are coming. If they fall after 500 meters, after 300 meters, maybe from 10, 3 will fall. What are you doing? How you bring them back? How you bring the stuff back? And um, will it getting complicated for the event? The other will waiting there, bring them back. You have no idea how long it will
Yeah.
take. They have maybe to wait there for 2 hours. I don't know, or maybe if it's done in 10 minutes. Maybe it's if there is wind, what are you doing with wind? What are you doing when there are coming big boats or waves and everything? Which areas are more, um, or where is it allowed to go? And what are you need? In the beginning, I was not sure, is it even allowed to cross the
Okay.
lake?
Yeah.
Without what you need for crossing the lake, because the swimmers also need a buoy or something, or maybe a life jacket or something to go over. So you all have to find it out, and no one can tell you 100%, because everyone says, no, it's not my advice, you must find
Yeah.
out. And uh, also the lifeguards said, the lifeguards on the boat said, so 100% we can also not tell you if we are necessary
Yeah.
or not. You have to decide.
No one wants to be
And
liable,
yeah, they
huh?
cost a lot. Yeah. And but in the end, I said, okay, when we take the life vests, it will be okay. And Todd organized these
Whistles. Yeah.
whistles. Yeah, and so it went very well, because on that day it was perfect for the 5K, because there were very less boats. It was not a very shiny day. It was a little bit cloudy, and there were not overcrowded lake. And yeah, it was
Maybe for the listeners
I was
who
very
are
happy.
not aware, like the 10K challenge, the idea was to make a tour for 10 kilometers. I think there were 6 stops that you had to take. Just go there, wait for the others, and go to the next. There was a 5K challenge for those who were a little less like fit maybe, or had material who was not suited for free falling for going long distance. So every, what was it, 500 meters, you had a boat or another
Yeah,
stop where they could just go on the dock, have a drink,
yeah.
have a pause, and then continue.
My idea was that the 10K people, they go for the 10K, they are much more fit for, they know what, I think what they do. They can manage legs for 1 kilometer. But for the 5K, the idea was so a lot of people can try it. And I want to offer it for a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
people
cool.
to go for the 5K, because it's just the beginning of, and when you did manage the 5K, you go to the 10K. And so for me, it was important to keep this very safe, and that the 5K riders feel comfortable, because many of them have never did a lake crossing or something, and it was the first time for most of them. So I put in every 500 meters and shifting with the boats. So I organized 2 of these platform boats, and we're shifting, and also you have a timetable, and tell the boat driver you have to be there after they start there, and then
That's a
go
lot of
wait for them,
organization.
and then yeah. Yeah, and you need some drinks, and you need some meal and everything, or around the lake, or some bars for eat, and yeah, and hope that everything is going. And then you need a boat on the back to pick up all the
To
people
fall.
if
Yeah.
someone is falling, to bring them back.
And
Yeah,
then
but it,
they were in contact
eh,
with radio, but still you needed to have the plan ready in advance because you took part in the challenge as well. How enjoyable was it for you? Was it more like work? Is everything working all right? Or were you able to actually enjoy that challenge, man?
I enjoyed the whole weekend.
Nice.
It was, for me, it was the also as a normal as you, I could enjoy it because everything was planned in the beginning, so the boat drivers know what they do. I just have to little bit shifting and organizing, but in the beginning, so I can totally enjoy. And it was also a big pleasure for me to be in this group and going with the people to pump next to Katrin, pump next to these, and then it was also very amazing for me, and we really enjoyed it. And it was, what me surprised the most was I was planning it. So there were just data and organizing and timetables, but there were no life in this event
Yeah.
before. And when the people were starting and Todd was blowing his horn in the beginning, so so that was really what the event was, this feeling of the people. For me, it was in the beginning, it was just some lines on the map. But then you have seen and watched this, how the people smile and how fun they have, and they cheer each other. And it was amazing how this idea comes to life, filled with the people.
For me, as a participant, it felt like everything worked out perfectly. But sometimes it just feels that way, and there was some other things planned. Were there some things that didn't go to plan as you thought?
Um, no, I think it went better than
Oh,
I
nice.
thought. It went some dynamic. So no, I think there's nothing that really had. No, I was just one scratch we had. A guy went to the hospital because he fell
Yeah.
on a foil, but he was there
Just some
2 hours later,
stitches or
and he
what?
was totally, yeah, it was a stitch. I think he jumped, he didn't wear shoes,
Rookie mistake.
and he was jumping with his on his, yeah. Um, yeah, but that was, but this can always happen. But in the end, yeah, it was, no, only the meal maybe. I was not happy with the meal we had on the hotel. And there was a little bit of complaining, but this restaurant was, last year it was excellent, but now they had a new owner,
Well,
and that's
the one
not
on Thursday, right?
good Austrian food.
The one on Thursday. Because the one that
where we had
the
the
one that we had
grill.
on Friday was excellent.
Yeah. On Friday, we have been at this
Yeah.
small restaurant. Yeah, that was it. I only mean the at the
Okay.
hotel, the restaurant at the
All right.
hotel where we had the grill, and so that was not.
And
Yeah.
then
But anyway, now Austrian food can
it
be very good.
was
Yeah.
like on Friday, that was exceptional. And also like the schnitzel semmel
Yeah.
we had after the 10K run. Oh, that was
After the
so good. It was
10K,
probably
yeah.
was also as good just because we did some sport that day. For me, it was really cool because
Yeah.
on Friday it was this seeing if I can do all these starts. Then on Saturday we had that challenge, and I was, I'm a bit competitive sometimes, so I really wanted to get these 10Ks. And then you get these badges on Foil Motion and Foilsessions on these apps, which is really fun. And now everyone can register for a 10K free foil challenge. Is like the next challenge after you can pump for a minute and you get your Wake Thief hat, and that's the next badge that you can get, which is really cool. And I really loved Sunday because we went up to Weissensee, which, the images from there, man, this is the most beautiful lake ever. How did you find that? Like, was
Yeah,
that
that's
also like from your childhood, some hiking that you had to do and you knew about it?
yes. It's a Weissensee is one of the everyone in Carinthia knows Weissensee. Sometimes you go there also in winter. It's frozen. You go
Ice
there
skating.
for um, ice skating as well. Yeah. And also in summer, it's a very, very nice and beautiful mountain lake. So we went there with the club, and also before the club exists, for some day sessions sometimes. But we have always been just in the beginning
Yeah.
where the dock is, because we have no idea what actually freefoiling is. And for me also, freefoiling was before the event, was not I I was into pump foiling so for so many years, and I think I know the sport a little bit, but must say I really had no idea what free foiling really is after the event of Weissensee. Also make a big
Can you
change for
tell
me.
that?
But
Can you tell
this
that to the
lake is
audience? Because
so beautiful.
it's not endurance just. It's not going forever. What is free
No,
falling for you?
yeah. Yeah, for me, freefoiling was when um, I found it out what freefoiling is when I went to Weissensee for spotting for the event. It was a few weeks before the event. I was going there with my better, and I took my sub with me, and with Walde, we went up the shore, and we were looking for some spots where we can start and looking for some rocks and whatever. And I made the first start, but I had my sub with me just to be safe. But I thought I cannot manage it. I cannot handle it. But then I found out, no, I don't need this sub. So I took away the sub, and Walde was on with two subs, and I was going for freefoiling in on Weissensee. And I said, yeah, it's possible. I've never been on the shore because there's no footpath, but I can go there, and for sure I'm feeling so comfortable because I don't have to care about where I'm starting. When I have the better foil, I don't have to care about that anymore. I just can go on the lake I didn't know. And when you can manage the beach start and the niche start,
Yeah.
you're good. You can almost start from anywhere. It's just a matter of time. Maybe you take 2 starts or 3 starts, but maybe at the 6th start, for sure you are on the water again. And then I was going in front, and I said, okay, we don't have to spot so much. It's going easily. And then I just was freefoiling there. So that was my moment where I found out, okay, this is a whole new sport. And as you said, it's not an endurance thing. I was at this time, I was not able to pump for 3 kilometers. I went for 500, stop, go for a kilometer, maybe go for 600. It's just something, it's just you go. It's like going
Yeah.
bicycle or something. You just go somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
leaving the dogs behind,
And
not being like focused on the dogs and then knowing where you have to go. Like the spotting that you did, yes, was maybe important for you to feel safe, but spotting is actually the opposite of free falling. You just spot wherever you are. And maybe you stop because, here I can start and I feel a little exhausting, and you start from there again. Or you just walk 5 minutes for a better, or move some rocks for a better start possibility. I need to learn that too, man. I thought when I got to betta foil at first, I thought it's an endurance foil and, just longer runs from your dock. And I didn't like it too much. But then when I really understood what free foiling meant, that's where I see the advantage of it. Also, the advantage of the betta, if we can just talk about the betta for a second. Like my son is getting into pump foiling. He knows how to pump with a scooter now, but like standing up on a foil, he's still a little bit scared. And the betta is so stable, sometimes a bit too stable, right? If you start turning, but just like going on your knee, standing up, and just feeling the glide, that comfort, that time that you get with the betta foil, that helps a lot. Also for getting into pump foiling, what do you reckon about that?
Yeah. The better changed everything for me in pump foiling. It makes the free foiling was only accessible at the beginning with it makes everything much easier. I learned I could not manage the beach start before because I also don't need it for what I said with my access or something. I maybe and now I can do it, but with the better, it gave me access to the beach start in 2 or 3 days. And because it's so smooth and you jump on and yeah, the better really change everything in the and I will not take it away anymore from my voice setup. So I really love it to have these better always on my
But you don't
equipment.
need the betta foil for
So
free foiling. There were a couple of guys on huge gong foils as well. And there was one guy, I don't remember his name, on an axis foil, and a pretty old one at that. And he managed to beat the knee start.
it was
This is
1150.
crazy.
It was 1150,
Yeah.
and he managed.
So he did the
Yeah,
whole 5K with that.
that was
And when we were
David.
free falling on Weissensee, he managed to start from incredible places. So if you just do a couple starts
Yeah.
and, feel like, those crashes on your foil, it's going to happen anyway. If you're cool with that, then free falling is up for everyone, really.
Yeah. Absolutely. We're also teaching with the better now here at the club as well. So if you're pump foiling or you want to learn pump foiling, so you can also start with the better, I think. So it's not a thing that kind of pro stuff that comes some later. I think you can immediately start with the better if you want to learn these free foil experience. Sure, free foiling is a little bit more advanced thing. But you don't need these jump starts. You don't have to work on them. You have hardly work on the knee start to make a very nice knee start. And with it, when you can manage the knee start, then I think you can start going for free foiling.
100%.
And
Just wear
the
shoes.
next step is just wear shoes. I also made a mistake in the beginning, and especially when you start with training beach starts, or you go to free foiling, you need shoes.
I forgot
Absolutely.
to put them
Yeah.
on at Weissensee. Luckily, nothing happened. But can I just come back to Weissensee one last time? Because like the amazing thing there, the water is super clear and you see to the ground until, I don't know, 10 meters maybe, and it drops super deep. And then there are a lot of trees in the water. And I was always scared foiling over those trees because I never knew how deep down they were. And they were always deep enough, but you just never knew. How did you manage? Also, when you foil and you don't see the water surface, it's super hard to tell how high up the mass you are. So I thought the Weissensee was like advanced foiling lake. How do you manage those two things?
I think you just have to get used to it. In the beginning, it's a little bit scared, as you said, but later you just have to trust. As Todd also said to me, he learned a lot when he was pumping with closing his eyes. So you feel much better the wing and everything. So I think it's similar to that. So just trust on it, what you're doing, and just keep pumping. And from time to time, you get a better feeling for that. But sure, I like it to go on these areas when you barely hit to some words or something, because you have this ground effect and it's getting much easier, and you also feel you see the speed much more. So when you're on very shallow water and there's so much to see, and yeah, I really like it in that way. And this is Weissensee. It's amazing how clear the water is, and you see all the fishes and everything. Yeah. But as you said, maybe you think it's only 30 centimeters, but maybe it's 1.20 meters or something. Yeah.
So if people who are listening to the podcast, maybe just go over to Pumpfoil Club Austria on Instagram, or, this episode is also on YouTube. So in the intro, I'm sure we're going to have some Weissensee footage. If you are considering doing a 10K Freefoil challenge yourself, 10kchallenge.com, I think, is the website. And maybe go check that out. Roman, we talked a lot already. Is there anything else you want to add? Maybe, for your club, for freefoiling in general, or for everyone else who considers doing something like that?
Yeah, I think you have to do freefoiling by your own. This is as you also said, you don't have experience. I was also watching the videos from Todd and everything, so I know the wording freefoil, but you have to do it, because for me also it's really recognizing what it really is while I'm doing it. And now I'm totally hooked after this event. After the event, I went so often to Weissensee or to other lakes just for going freefoiling, and it completely changed it, what I'm doing, and I love it. So it's not shifting now to only go freefoiling, but it's such a great experience. I can everyone only tell to do that. It's really
Very
amazing.
nice.
Also, and the goal for the 10K challenge, that is so cool to have these events, to have a goal and reach this 10K. It will be an like we had these pumper hats in the beginning where we had this 1 minute. I will never forget this in my life when I reached the minute, and I had the same feeling with the 10K challenge, and maybe even stronger, because it's a very hard, you're out there for 3 hours maybe in the beginning, and it's a very intense moment when you reach this batch on the 10K.
I'm here at Lake
amazing.
Silvaplana,
So that's
and I'm going to try
advice
to
for everyone.
round it tomorrow morning, because we don't have wind in the morning. In the afternoon, there's usually wind, and now it's glassy, beautiful. So tomorrow I'm going to take my betta and try to go around the lake. And, last time I tried to do that, I just went to Silvaplana and then walked back because the wind kicked in. And I thought I'd have to do it in one go. And now it's just, no, let's go hiking on the lake. For me, that's what it is. All right, Roman, thank you very much for coming on the show, for talking to us. As I said, Pumpfoil Club Austria on Instagram. The 10K challenge is on the internet somewhere. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Have a good one.
Hey, thank you, Matt. Thank you so much. Bye.